Hello, my name is Grin, and this is my beard. And this is the second time I'm doing a video today. The first video didn't make it. It didn't make it because my hard drive ran out of space right in the middle of it, and it didn't record. It just deleted everything instead of saving it. I don't know. It's gone. I had to free up some space, delete some old videos, and now I'm gonna do it again. So what is today's video about? Today's video is about what I miss from America that isn't in Japan or that is different here in Japan, and stuff like that. So I want to talk about food specifically. Uh, most specifically Mexican food, because Mexican food is really hard to find here in Japan. It's not like it's not available here. It's not like you can't find it. You can find Mexican food. It's just finding good Mexican food and nearby Mexican food. Like there where I live in Niigata City, there's like one good Mexican food shop that I know of. There used to be a few more, but they went out of business. They just closed up one day. One was called Arco Iris, and they were great. I used to love their stuff. They had some specialty Mexican food stuff that I really enjoyed. And one day they just went out of business, and it was because I think it was because of the whole COVID-19 thing. And during that time when everybody was worried about COVID-19, nobody went out. They didn't go out and do stuff. They didn't, go to the restaurants and whatnot. They stayed home mostly. And so those businesses went out of business, including my area where I live in my town. I had there next to this train station. There were a whole bunch of like izakaya and snack bars and stuff like that. They're all gone. They're every single well, except for one or two, and they're kind of izakayas. They're kind of more not even izakayas. They're like yakiniku izakaya type of style. They don't just, I mean, I don't know how they managed to stay afloat, but they did, which is cool. But I still don't go there. I don't ever go there. Um, so all these places that I used to enjoy, they're gone, and there's nothing in my area to enjoy. And when I'm talking about Mexican food, I've got to drive. Um, eh, let's put it in American miles. I got to drive 60, 70 miles to a Mexican food restaurant that sells good Mexican food, and they're not open all the time. It's a mom and pop kind of place. They're wonderful people. I guess they've been to Mexico for or lived in Mexico for a while, and so they enjoyed the food and the cuisine and learned how to make it and came to Japan and started their own Mexican food shop. It's great. They're just wonderful people to talk to, and they're always really busy. As soon as they're open until the time they're closed, people are in there, and they're open like a couple hours in the morning and then maybe 5 hours in the evening, and only like 5 days a week. So it's a real mom and pop kind of store. Great food though, fantastic, but it's a little expensive, and the portions are kind of small. And I've noticed other videos, other channels. There's a lot of them now. A lot of Japanese this, Japanese that, life in Japan, what Japanese people think, what foreigners think about stuff in Japan and whatnot. Great channels. I love all of them. And if you're one of those people who has a channel like that, hit me up. Let me know in the comments, and I'd like to see some of the videos that you do. That would be great. Uh, I enjoy every single one of those life in Japan kind of videos. I'm subscribed to every one that I've found so far. So yeah, let me know. But I've seen many of those channels doing like what you miss. What they'll do interviews of foreigners, and one of the questions that they often almost always ask in those interviews is, "What do you miss about where you're from that they don't have here?" And for most of the Americans, or not most of them, but many of the Americans, they'll say, "Yeah, I miss Mexican food," because I'm from Arizona. We had a lot of Mexican food restaurants there. Rolando's, Alberto's. What it's always a something to something O. But those places just had wonderful burritos. My favorite place was this place called Rolando's, and it was a Taco Bell. The Taco Bell closed down, and then this guy bought it and started a Rolando's, and their carne asada burritos were just fantastic. Ah, I miss a good carne asada burrito. They with the extra guacamole and pico de gallo and the special red sauce that they have, or even the green sauce. Either one was just delicious. Fantastic. Nothing beats a night binging, drinking at the bar, and then getting into your friend's car who hasn't drank, the only sober guy at the bar, and everybody's getting in their car and driving to the Rolandos to get a carne asada burrito. You know, it was those were the days, man. Nothing like those carne asada burritos after a binge. It was fantastic. I miss that. That's something you're not gonna find here in Japan. You're not gonna find a Rolando's or Alberto's or whatever you used to eat Mexican style food. There's not even a thing like Garcia's. Closest thing to that would be like not even like TGI Fridays. That's not even Mexican food. So I don't know. There's no good Mexican food chain restaurants here in Japan. They just don't exist. It's all small stores, single restaurants, or specialty restaurants. They're the Arco Iris was nice. I liked the Arco Iris, but they're gone. And one thing I liked about that was the alcohol they had. They had all kinds of different tequilas, and I love tequila. In fact, it's the only thing I can drink. Like now, Mexican food is kind of like the food that I have to eat because a lot of Japanese food doesn't agree with me anymore. When I first came to Japan, I would eat a lot of ramen and well, ramen, somen, soba, all the noodles. They have all kinds of different delicious noodles that you can eat, and I loved it. But as I got older, it started becoming more and more difficult to eat those foods, to eat the noodles. Like now, I cannot eat ramen, which is a terrible tragedy because one of my favorite restaurants is one of the really popular ramen shops in Niigata, and it's like right across the street from my house. It used to be a Dosanko, and now it's called Ashira, and they have this fantastic tokusei miso ramen, tokusei chashu miso ramen, tokusei miso chashu ramen, yeah, something like that. It's tokusei is like specialty. Miso is just the type of broth that they use. Like you have a salty beef broth, or you have a miso broth. The salty meat broth is kind of a brown color, and the miso sauce is kind of like a more whitish, or yeah, whitish color. It's delicious. Oh, and the chashu is like this broiled or boiled or steamed ham or something like that. Ham, I think, and it's like little round chunks of meat that they cut into little thick saucers too, and they slam that in there, and it's just in a little bit of with a little bit of ryu, which is like this. Ryu is kind of like a spicy pepper sauce, like a togarashi, which is kind of red pepper, and maybe a little bit of vinegar, and then you get some what is it? Seaweed. Put the seaweed. They got like strips of seaweed in there, thick strips. You don't have to eat them, but they're pretty good when you mix it with the miso sauce. Oh, it's just fantastic. I miss it so much because now anytime I eat ramen or somen or soba, my stomach gets all messed up. I mean, I feel sorry for my colon for like 3 days, and it just kills me. And I get the same thing with alcohol, with beer, and most other alcohols too. And I can't figure out what it is. And I've gone to the doctor to figure out, what kind of tests can I do? What's wrong with me? And this kind of thing isn't, common in Japan. Like there's alcohol allergies where they drink alcohol and their face turns red, and but it's not something that you need to do anything about. It doesn't cause them to be suffering for 3 days afterwards like I do when I drink beer or eat ramen. So the doctors can't figure out what's wrong with me. They don't know. All my tests show that I'm fine, basically. I have no allergies or anything like that. So it's an intolerance. What am I, gluten intolerant? I have no idea. And I think I've been tested for that at the doctor, but there was no reaction. There was no CRP reaction to gluten. So, I mean, I'm not allergic to it, but what does that mean? I don't know. They don't know. And I haven't been able to figure it out. And so I have to avoid it. I have to avoid alcohol, beer specifically, and I have to avoid ramen. Now, the point about this is when I cannot just avoid alcohol. Alcohol is like the legal drug that I can have. I need that in my life. Now, I don't drink alcohol very often, like maybe once a month. I used to drink a lot more, but the problem was that I couldn't just drink alcohol because I'd be suffering for the next 3 days. So I had to do tests. And these tests required me to drink a specific kind of alcohol, whatever it was I'm testing, and only that alcohol until I'm drunk, and then see if I have any effects afterwards. So I would drink beer and it would be like Asahi Super Dry, and I would drink only that until I got drunk. And then the next day, if I had stomach problems, well, I can't drink that anymore. And problem was is that it wouldn't just be the next day; it would be for the next 3 days. I would have stomach problems. So uh, I kept trying different kinds of alcohol. Beer was like no good, so I gave up on beer. And then different kinds of spirits and stuff. And finally, I drank some tequila one night because like I like tequila, love tequila. But it's hard to find good tequila here in Japan. At any rate, I drank only tequila for one night, and the next day, right as rain, no problems at all. My stomach was fine, and I was just like, "That's it. I'm drinking tequila from now on. I'm not doing any of these stupid fucking tests. I can't stand it." So I quit doing the tests, and now I only drink tequila. That's a problem because in Japan there's not a lot of tequila. They don't sell tequila very much. It's 90% whiskey. But I have a different problem with whiskey. Just the smell of it will make me puke. I don't know if when I was a kid, I had drank some tequila and got sick off of it or whatnot. I don't know what it is, but tequila just kills me instantly. I cannot smell it. I cannot drink it. Nothing. It will make me sick instantly. So the only thing that's really available to me is the one thing that I can't stand, not because my stomach's bad, but because if I drink it, I just get sick. So tequila is the thing that I have to drink. And very few places have tequila, so I only go to places that have tequila. And every place has tequila. If they have tequila, they have just like Jose Cuervo or Sauza, and I mean, it's tequila, but it's not very good. So I would buy my own tequila. So this is the kind of thing that I miss from Arizona is Mexican food and tequila, good tequila. Uh, it's hard to find here in Japan. Now I did find some. Okay, I went to visit a friend of mine in Osaka. Took my kids. We went out to Universal Studios and just did all kinds of stuff in Osaka for like 3 days or a week or something like that. It was great. And we went to this Mexican food, like hole in the wall kind of restaurant. It was just like one bar and three tables, but the food they had there was fantastic. And they had a whole huge row behind the bar of tequilas, just tons and tons of different kinds of tequilas. Great, because I could try them all out. And the one that I found that was the best for me, the one that I liked the most, was Sincoro. Sincoro Anejo. Sincoro Anejo is delicious. It's delicious tequila. Love it. And so I bought myself a bottle. It's a really long bottle. Uh, and now there's a karaoke snack bar type of place that I go to, and sometimes well, I go there to practice my singing. They have this really neat karaoke thing where it shows you what your pitch is and what the pitch is supposed to be. So if you're off pitch, or if you're singing too long or too short, it tells you that, which is great for practice. Perfect. So I can practice the songs and do it perfectly each time. Why? It's hard to do it perfectly each time, but I can improve each time I do it. Is what I mean to say. And they only had like one kind of tequila. I think it was Sauza or something like that. I'm like, oh, you really got to get a nicer tequila in here. And the mama san there, she's like, well, what do you suggest I get? And I showed her the Cincoro, and she's like, wow, so expensive. It's like the bottle. It's a 750 milliliter bottle, and it's like, uh, let's see, it's about a Ichiman go senyen. So what is that in America? It's about $100 for the bottle. And I'm like, well, if you buy this, I promise you, every time I come, I will buy at least one shot. And so she bought it. And so that's the only place I go to drink, and only sometimes because it's far away. All the drinking places that I used to have here in my town, they all went out of business because of coronavirus. And so I have to drive 15 miles to the nearest place, maybe 10 miles to the nearest place, which is that snack bar. And then if I drive there and I get drunk on tequila, I can't come back. So what I usually do is I go there, I buy one shot, and then I stay there for like 6 hours singing and drinking Coca-Cola for the rest of the night. And then I drive home. That's so if I don't have like 6 hours, I can't really go unless somebody's willing to take me there or drive me there or whatnot. Then I can't wait for that to happen. Hasn't happened yet, but I'm waiting for somebody to be like, let's go out, and okay, are you driving? You're driving, good, let's go. and just be able to drink until I'm drunk. That would be fantastic. I haven't done that in so long. Anyways, these are the things that I miss: Mexican food and good tequila. Although I can find both here in Japan, it's just not as good. Oh, here's the thing: Mexican food cheese, like cheese, cheddar cheese, Monterey Jack cheese, that stuff is really hard to get here in Japan. I mean, you can get mozzarella. Mozzarella is pretty popular, but the good like cheddar cheeses, you're not going to find those. Or even tortillas. Like 6, 7 years ago, I could go to Costco and get these really big, nice, nice big burrito tortillas. They're huge and great for making burritos. And they stopped selling them. They stopped stocking them. They just don't sell them anymore. And that was like the only reason why I had a membership to that Costco, was because of the tortillas, believe it or not. Now, they sell tortillas at some of the supermarkets here in my area, but not all of them. And the closest one that sells tortillas, either direction, there's one that sells tortillas, but it's 10 miles away. So we usually go to this one place on our way to work or on our way home from work, my wife and I, and pick up like 3 packages of tortillas and throw them in the freezer and just use them for a week or so, because that's what I eat. I eat uh, burritos or tacos every day. I can't say they're burritos because they're kind of small, the tortillas. They don't sell really big tortillas. Small tortillas, so this like more like a soft shell taco, but it's better than nothing, I guess. I can eat the tortillas. I just can't eat noodles. Or there's a lot of other breads that I can't eat too, like bran and stuff like that. And okay, so people are gonna say, "Oh, you must be or not lactose intolerant. What is it? Gluten intolerant or whatever." Okay, but I've been tested and didn't find that. But again, here in Japan, not a lot of people have gluten intolerance or anything like that. Don't even really know what that means. So is that it? And if that was it, how come I can eat tortillas without any problems? Shouldn't tortillas have a lot of gluten in them? I don't know. I really don't know. I haven't done any research on that. All I know is I can eat tortillas without a problem. So that's what I eat pretty much every day, except for nighttime. My my mother-in-law, she makes dinner for us usually at night, and her dinner is always all kinds of different stuff. Noodles too. I don't eat the noodles, so she always makes something special for me. And God bless her, she's a wonderful woman for doing that. She'll cook up a steak or something like that just specifically for me. I love her to death. My mother-in-law is awesome. Anyways, if you come to Japan, just keep that in mind. There's going to be things that you miss, and if you're from the Southwest of America, Nevada, California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, you're not going to find much for Mexican food. And if you love tequila, well, might as well buy your own because it's going to be hard to find at any of the places that you go to. All right. Well, anyways, that's what was on my mind. Oh, one more thing I wanted to talk about the other day uh, when I was talking about storytelling and stuff like that. One of the reasons why I had started this whole channel was because I have English students that we do conversation with. We have a book that we go run out of, and we do that for half the lesson, and for the other half of the lesson is just free conversation. And they've been telling me, all of them, every single one of my students have said, "Wow, you're so easy to talk to, and you have so many stories, and it's so interesting." And they like speaking their mind about something. Like I'll tell them what's recent stuff that's happening or whatnot, and then let them give their thoughts on it and talk about it, and they really enjoy that. And they said, well, you should start a YouTube channel on that. And I'm like, it's not really my thing, public speaking. I'm not really that kind of a person. Like, well, you talk to us fine. So one of the other reasons why I started this channel was because of my many adult English students who enjoy my conversation and who say that other people might enjoy it too. So put it out there so that people can see it. Is it because I'm easy to listen to? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I mean, I don't think it's. I don't think I speak very well. I But I don't know. If somebody tells me, I guess what am I supposed to say? No, you're wrong. Uh, so you tell me. Are my stories easy to listen to? Is it entertaining? It's just things that are on my mind. And the only reason why I'm really doing this is to just get the stuff from my head into words so that I can understand my own thoughts better. Hope it works. Anyways, thanks for watching. Happy Christmas. Well, it's not. I'll probably do a few more videos yet. So happy holidays. We'll see you again later.